So it's the end of week 6 of the training block. I'm getting ready for my last run of the week. And this week, I thought I'd take you through my strength and conditioning program. Before we get to that though, I'll run you through this week's training as I started dialing things up. So this has to be the first run in months where I just don't want to do it. There's always the odd day where you feel a little bit lethargic and you just got a little bit less motivation than normal. But today, I literally don't want any part of it. Sun's out, it's a lovely evening, but I've got a hill session on the slate that I am not up for. So I'm trying to spin it positive and frame it as an opportunity for me to embody these elite practices that I've been banging on about in this video series. And having spoken in a previous video about discipline trumping motivation, this is a chance for me to walk the walk. So I'm going to set up camp at the bottom of this hill and embrace the fact that this one's probably going to suck and just dig my way through it anyway. Activate sport mode. Let's go. This session was 5 by 1 minute uphill, 5 by 45 seconds, 5 by 30 seconds, all off of even rest, and then 3 minutes steady uphill to finish, with 2 minutes standing rest between each of those sets. Thursday was a nice easy 45 minutes with no pace in mind, just some sunshine and the company of a couple of colleagues from work. Friday was my second session of the week and I lent on the convenience of the treadmill so I could set and forget the pace and then smash out 8 by 1 kilometre at half marathon pace with a 60-second float between each rep. Then before I knew it, it was Sunday and time for a 90-minute long run with no real pace or structure in mind, just keeping my heart rate in check, and I was happy with the results. It feels like that base aerobic fitness is coming on leaps and bounds. Well, as a result, got back from my long run in time to watch the London Marathon. Although, like watching Manchester Marathon last week, it gave me massive FOMO. So anyway, as I said, I want to talk through strength and conditioning this week. While the focus of this video series has been me applying elite level practices to my everyday training, the strength and conditioning program I'm doing is by no means elite, but it's a good stepping stone between the minimal strength and conditioning that I was doing last year and where I want to be at to run a strong marathon later this year. One of the observations that I've made when watching elite runners is the real lack of any kind of heavy strapping or support tape that you see on the start line of big races. And this suggests that those runners have got their bodies into a position where they're strong enough to handle the demands of elite level endurance racing. In the past, I've picked up niggles that have developed into injuries because I've sought solutions in equipment or tape and then pressed on, when actually what I needed to do was address the root cause of those problems and make that part of my body stronger. So getting into my specifics, I seem to have a weakness with my posterior tibialis tendon on both sides, but particularly the right, and that's often the first part of the chain that breaks down when I start building up the volume of training. I've added 2 strength and conditioning sessions to my program each week that target my entire lower body. And during the course of this training block, I've started using weight with some of the exercises, but as a good starting point, they can all be adapted as body weight only exercises. That's been really handy in helping me avoid overloading my body, but it's also super helpful if I can't get to the gym because a lot of the exercises can be done on the living room floor. So I'll run through the session that I do twice a week, and it's worth noting that I do these on my hardest run days. So Tuesday and Friday are my toughest sessions, and I do the strength and conditioning in the morning and then the run in the evening. So yeah, let's take a look at the session. I'll throw the itinerary up on the screen here and then we can run through some demos as well. After a gentle warm up and some dynamic stretches, I'll start off with 2 30-second single leg stands on each leg. This might look a bit silly and seem quite simple, but it's amazing how it can identify weaknesses in the stabilizing muscles, particularly in the lower leg. Then it's 2 sets of 8 to 12 single leg dips. This is actually a rehab exercise that was given to me for a hamstring problem I had a while ago. I've kept it in my routine because it seems to prevent the return of any little niggles in that affected area. And from this point in the workout, broadly speaking, we're going to be working from the top of the leg down, starting off with 2 sets of 10 curtsy lunges on each side to really fire up those glutes. Then it's 2 sets of 10 goblet squats. I started off doing these with no weight, and now I've got a 10 kilo dumbbell. And as with any of the weighted exercises, I'll look to increase that as I get stronger. Next up, we've got 2 sets of 10 good mornings, and it's one that I still struggle with and can feel a pinch in that affected area of my right thigh, but it's definitely getting better with exercises like this. Then it's onto the Swiss ball for 2 sets of 10 hamstring curls. And I find that that little pause for a second or two at the end of each repetition really puts the burn on the hammies. After that, we're targeting the quads with 2 sets of 10 assisted single leg squats. I'm using the TRX band attached to a pull-up bar here just to give a bit of assistance and allow me to lower deeper into the squat and then power up using the quads. But it's just providing a little bit of assistance because I'm way off being able to do single leg squats yet. Then it's on to the calf raises, starting with 2 sets of 10 straight leg and then 2 sets of 10 with a bent leg on each side. The straight leg variation targets the that one, and the bent leg variation targets the soleus, which is another area I typically find starts to fail first, so I really need to focus on developing strength here. Then it's another exercise that's new to me, and that's a tibialis raise, or toe lift, or whatever you want to call it. And basically, the further you set your feet away from the wall that you're leaning against, the harder it will be. And after a couple of sets of 10 of these, I really start to feel a burn in those muscles across the front of my shin. And finally, I've recently added some basic plyometrics into my routine to really target the development of tendon elasticity to help me endure pounding the pavement fast for long periods of time and also power me out of each stride. So at the moment, my plyometrics just consist of 2 simple exercises. The first one being a minute of hopping, or effectively skipping without a skipping rope. I don't have a skipping rope, and if I did, it wouldn't be much good to me because I don't have the coordination to skip. So I spend the first 30 seconds of each minute jumping on both feet, and then 15 seconds on each side hopping on a single leg. I do that 2 or 3 times, and then I move on to my second plyometric exercise, which is drop jumps. Basically here, I'm looking for minimal ground contact time, although as you can see, I haven't quite perfected that. The next progression of this exercise will be hitting the ground, springing out of it, and then landing on a single leg. And I do these drop jumps for 2 sets of 10. And finally, as with any weight session or run, I finish it off with some gentle stretching. So that's my strength and conditioning program. Well, the leg specific stuff at least. I'll throw a little caption on screen with the other stuff I do throughout the week as well. But even just 6 weeks into this block, I'm already finding that I feel stronger in my running, particularly at the end of a long run, where I'm now up to about 90 minutes on my Sunday long runs and feeling really good at the end of them and not getting any of those telltale signs that I sometimes get from those areas that start to fail me. So I hope you found something helpful in this. If you have enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to my channel, hit that like button, maybe share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.